Wisconsin's handling of its recent presidential primary has Minnesota lawmakers considering what, if any, accommodations should be made. I spoke with Senator Mary Kiffmeyer, chair of the State Government and Elections Committee.
Do any changes need to be made to keep people safe while voting in the upcoming August primary and November election?
Well, to be sure, we're going to want every single person to be able to vote in a healthy way and to keep things as normal as much as possible, because we are looking out quite a ways. And we have August, which even at the governor's extension to maybe May or June, that's still 2 months after that. And a lot can change, as we're finding out right now. But our goal is to work in a bipartisan fashion, as Minnesota has done for many decades, to do those things that we can agree in a bipartisan fashion, to adjust timelines where needed, to make some adjustments on polling places, to make some other changes that we need to do. But we do it in a bipartisan fashion so that people have the confidence that everybody's voice is being heard in this election process.
Poll workers are often older folks. Is there a desire to maybe make it easier for younger people to be poll workers, or to reduce the number of polling sites, or mail everyone a ballot? Those are some things that I've heard proposed. Are you in favor of any or some of those?
Well, doing the vote by mail statewide has no support whatsoever amongst our folks and folks that are with me in our caucus, the Republicans. However, recognizing that, though, that some adjustments to some of the other ways, such as making sure that those election judges who are in the vulnerable population for whatever reason, they could be younger or older, but on their own be able to do that, and then putting out a call for all of our younger folks in that younger population area that are healthy and strong, that they will be able to join up. And that's one of the deadlines we need to make sure we adjust, that we allow for that recruitment, allow for that signing up of that replacement election judges. Reminding you, though, if you change things right now, my biggest concern is confusion. One of the things we saw in Wisconsin was confusion. The governor the night before said polling places closed. The court says, no, they're open. You have confusion. We don't need that. So whatever we do, we need to put it in place, put it together in a very Minnesota common sense, reasonable fashion, and then implement the plan. And one of those things is to make sure we do have election judges, but the polling places were set the end of December. Those are the ones that people know. They have comfort, they know them, they know the people. We can do both. We can have wide-scale absentee voting, as Minnesota law currently allows, 45 days before Election Day. That is one of the longest in the country. So realizing Minnesota already has very good law in place for this, and then having the polling places for those who want to go there, and to make sure that we don't have confusion, because in that confusion, you can lose ballots. You can lose them by the fact that people are unsure, they don't know. And I worked as an election judge for a mail-in voting election, and all of us as election judges said, we're not going to do this again, because it was so confusing to people, because we're used to a certain way. When you have good law already with some adjustments, we can do both. We can do them safely, and we can do them by protecting people's health.
You've been hard at work to establish provisional balloting in Minnesota. Why is this important?
Well, provisional ballots enable voters to have equal treatment. So when you pre-register, a lot of folks don't know this, when you pre-register, you go through a rigorous check of validity. As your registration is an application, and it goes through verification. However, there are those who 21 days before Election Day or on Election Day, they cast their ballot. It's counted and cast, but only afterwards is it verified for eligibility. That's unequal treatment of voters. I want voters to be treated in an equal way, no matter when they cast their ballot. And that is what provisional ballots do. Makes sure that you are able to cast the ballot, but that all voters have equal treatment in regards to their verification. I have not lost my desire to see that, because I think it is sound public policy. 47 other states do provisional ballots, 47. So I think that it's time for Minnesota to do this as well. Will it be done this year? We'll wait and see about that. However, in the meantime, my biggest focus is during this COVID crisis type situation, that we focus on the basics in our election system and keep an eye open for anything we can do to improve.
One more question. Prior to the pandemic, there was much concern about foreign interference in the upcoming election. Is there still cause for concern?
Well, personally, I think you ought to always be concerned. We all know that it's when you take things for granted that bad things can happen. So we don't want to have a situation where we let down our guard. But what we did do last year is the Secretary of State got a lot of money, many millions of dollars of money, around $6 million or so. And so that amount of money was targeted specifically to his office for cybersecurity. Even prior to that, Minnesota law required the Secretary of State to keep the system secure. That's already his duty and responsibility. Then we provided that money over a year ago, about a year ago, I should say, to be more accurate. And so he has the resources that he needs to do it.
All right, Senator Kiffmeyer, thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. Glad to be with you, Shannon. And I'm looking forward to another high voter turnout, successful, healthy election in Minnesota.